The most feared fighter jet in aviation history just became yesterday's news. For nearly 20 years, the F-22 Raptor has been the undisputed king of the skies, untouchable, unbeatable, and utterly terrifying to anyone foolish enough to challenge American air power. But in March 2025, everything changed when President Trump stepped up to a podium and announced something that sent shockwaves through military circles worldwide. Boeing's F-47 isn't just another fighter jet. It's a technological revolution that makes the legendary F-22 look like an antique museum piece. We're talking about 70% better combat range, stealth technology so advanced it makes current fighters look like flying billboards on enemy radar screens, and capabilities so classified that even discussing them publicly could compromise national security. But here's the part that should terrify our enemies. While China and Russia are still struggling to build reliable copies of our 20-year-old technology, America just leaped an entire generation ahead. Secret prototype F-47 have been flying combat-ready missions for 5 years, while our adversaries remained completely in the dark. The engineering marvel that's about to redefine air warfare forever is much closer to reality than anyone imagines. If you're proud of American military superiority and believe we should always stay ahead of our enemies, type yes in the comments below. Now, before we dive deep into what makes the F-47 unstoppable, let's address something many of you are thinking. Boeing has faced serious challenges recently. Door plugs blowing out of commercial aircraft, the Starliner spacecraft leaving astronauts stranded, and quality control issues that made headlines worldwide. Many folks are asking, should we trust Boeing with our most important military program? Here's the truth that mainstream media won't tell you. Boeing's defense division operates completely separately from their commercial aircraft business. The same engineers who've been building B-52 bombers, KC-46 tankers, and military satellites for decades are the ones designing the F-47. More importantly, Boeing just invested $1.8 billion building a brand new classified production facility in St. Louis specifically for 6th-generation fighter manufacturing. That's not the move of a company hoping to win a contract. That's the confidence of an organization that knows they have the winning design. The Pentagon doesn't hand out $20 billion contracts based on hope. They've seen the prototype flights, analyzed the performance data, and concluded that Boeing's design will deliver the capabilities America needs to maintain air superiority for the next 30 years. The designation F-47 isn't random. It carries deep meaning that honors American military tradition while sending a clear message to our enemies. First, it pays tribute to the legendary P-47 Thunderbolt, the World War II fighter that helped win the war in both European and Pacific theaters. That aircraft earned the nickname the Jug because it was nearly indestructible, capable of absorbing massive damage while still completing missions. The P-47 could carry 2,500 pounds of bombs while maintaining air superiority, devastating effectiveness that earned respect from allies and terror from enemies. Second, the number 47 honors 1947, when President Harry Truman signed the National Security Act, officially establishing the United States Air Force as an independent service. Before that historic moment, military aviation was part of the Army. By 1945, that organization had grown to an impressive 80,000 aircraft and 2.4 million personnel. Here's something that might surprise you. Today's Air Force operates with roughly 5,500 aircraft and about 640,000 total personnel, just 30% of the 1945 numbers. But don't mistake smaller numbers for reduced capability. Modern technology means each aircraft and airman delivers exponentially more firepower and effectiveness than their predecessors could ever imagine. The third reason? President Trump is America's 47th president, and his administration chose to move forward aggressively with this program when the previous administration wanted to delay or cancel it entirely. Sometimes it takes decisive leadership to ensure America maintains its technological edge over increasingly aggressive adversaries. Here's something that will blow your mind. This wasn't just a paper competition between Boeing and Lockheed Martin. Both companies built actual flying prototypes that have been secretly testing advanced technologies for years. Boeing's demonstrator first took flight in 2019, followed by Lockheed Martin's in 2022. These weren't publicity stunts. They were serious engineering validation aircraft that logged hundreds of flight hours, testing cutting-edge concepts that would eventually shape the F-47. We're talking about real performance data, not computer simulations or artist renderings. The fact that both prototypes accumulated so much flight time means the technological risks have been minimized. When the F-47 enters production, Boeing won't be starting from scratch. They'll be refining proven technologies that have already demonstrated their effectiveness in actual flight conditions. For Boeing, winning this contract represents validation of a massive gamble. While facing criticism for commercial aircraft problems, they quietly invested billions preparing for this moment. The classified Brownlee site facility in St. Louis wasn't built on speculation. It was constructed with the confidence that comes from knowing your design is superior. The decision also makes strategic sense for America's defense industrial base. Lockheed Martin already handles the F-35 Lightning II program while continuing to upgrade F-22 Raptors. Northrop Grumman builds the revolutionary B-21 Raider bomber. Giving Boeing the F-47 contract ensures all three major aerospace companies remain competitive, innovative, and capable of delivering advanced military technology. But here's the real kicker that proves American technological superiority. While our companies compete to build the world's most advanced fighters, China and Russia struggle to produce reliable copies of our 20-year-old designs. Now, let's talk about what makes the F-47 an absolute game-changer, starting with the most important capability: range. The F-22 Raptor has a combat radius of 590 nautical miles, impressive for its time and still formidable today. The F-47, over 1,000 nautical miles. That's not just a 70% improvement, it's a fundamental transformation of how America can project power globally. Think about what this means in the vast Pacific Theater, where friendly airfields can be separated by thousands of miles of open ocean. Current F-22s might reach a target area but lack the fuel reserves for extended combat operations. The F-47 can fly deeper into enemy territory, fight longer, and still return safely to base. This range advantage isn't just about fuel capacity, it represents a complete rethinking of fighter design priorities. The F-47 features an optimized internal configuration that accommodates more fuel without external tanks that would compromise stealth characteristics. Advanced materials reduce weight while improving structural strength, allowing designers to pack more capability into the same basic airframe size. The aerodynamic efficiency gains are equally impressive. The tailless configuration doesn't just maximize stealth, it significantly reduces drag, allowing the aircraft to fly farther on each gallon of fuel. Traditional tail fins are among the most radar-reflective parts of any aircraft, so eliminating them provides multiple benefits simultaneously. Here's something that should make every American proud. While China's J-20 fighter struggles with engine reliability problems and Russia's Su-57 exists mainly on paper, America prepares to field aircraft with capabilities that render enemy fighters obsolete before they leave the ground. Military officials describe the F-47's stealth capabilities as Stealth Plus compared to the F-22's Stealth Plus and the F-35's basic stealth rating. What does this actually mean for American pilots and national security? Current fifth-generation stealth technology, while still highly effective, faces increasing challenges from advanced radar systems being developed by China and Russia. These nations have invested heavily in counter-stealth technologies, trying to neutralize the advantages that have kept American aircraft safe for 2 decades. The F-47's next-generation stealth represents a quantum leap forward. Instead of simply absorbing radar waves, advanced materials integrated directly into the aircraft structure actively manipulate electromagnetic signatures across broader frequency ranges. This isn't just an external coating that can be damaged or degraded, it's built into the very bones of the aircraft. The broad, shovel-like nose houses radar arrays far larger than current fighters can accommodate. This massive sensor suite doesn't just detect enemy aircraft, It can simultaneously track multiple targets while coordinating with friendly forces and autonomous drones across vast distances. Even controversial design features like canards, small wings near the nose that traditionally compromise stealth, suggest the F-47's other advantages are so overwhelming that designers can afford some radar visibility. That level of confidence indicates capabilities we probably haven't been told about yet. The thermal management systems represent another breakthrough. High-speed flight traditionally creates heat signatures that infrared sensors can detect from long distances. Advanced materials and cooling technologies should allow the F-47 to maintain stealth characteristics even during sustained supersonic operations. But here's where things get really interesting. The F-47 isn't just a better fighter aircraft, it's the quarterback of an entirely new way of fighting wars. Traditional fighter operations involve aircraft operating alone or in small formations. The F-47 will command entire squadrons of autonomous collaborative combat aircraft, advanced drones capable of carrying weapons, sensors, or electronic warfare equipment. Imagine one F-47 pilot controlling multiple unmanned aircraft, each specialized for specific mission requirements. This multiplies combat effectiveness while keeping human pilots positioned safely to coordinate complex operations. Enemy forces won't just face one extremely capable aircraft. They'll confront an entire networked battle group that can adapt tactics in real time based on changing conditions. The altitude advantage cannot be overstated. Operating routinely at 60,000 feet and above provides crucial benefits that become more important as threats evolve. Weapons launched from that altitude travel much farther than those released at lower altitudes. Air-to-air missiles gain significant extra range, while air-to-ground weapons can strike targets well beyond the reach of enemy defenses. Communication range also improves dramatically with altitude. At 40,000 feet, line-of-sight communications reach about 245 miles. At 60,000 feet, that extends to 300 miles. A 22% improvement that seems small, but makes enormous tactical differences. When the F-47 needs to coordinate with drones, satellites, and other friendly forces across vast areas, every mile of communication range enhances survivability and mission success. The Air Force plans to acquire 200 NGAD combat jets working alongside at least 1,000 advanced drones. This isn't just numerical superiority, it's technological dominance that fundamentally changes the mathematics of air combat. Enemy pilots won't face fair fights. They'll encounter overwhelming technological advantages that make resistance pointless. Current planning envisions 2 autonomous drones paired with each F-47, plus additional support from hundreds of F-35 Joint Strike Fighters. That level of integration represents a complete transformation from individual aircraft operations to networked battle groups that share information instantaneously. Let's be absolutely clear about what the F-47 program means for anyone foolish enough to challenge American air power: complete and total technological domination. China's J-20 fighter, while impressive for a Chinese design, relies heavily on stolen American technology and continues facing serious engine problems. Chinese engineers struggle to develop reliable turbofan engines, forcing them to depend on Russian suppliers who can't meet their own military's requirements. Russia's Su-57 program represents even more serious challenges. They've built fewer than 20 aircraft and struggle to afford even limited production runs. Most Su-57s seen at air shows are actually demonstration aircraft not equipped for combat operations. Their stealth technology lags at least a generation behind current American capabilities. Meanwhile, America prepares to field 185 F-47s working alongside hundreds of F-22s, F-35s, and autonomous drones. This isn't just numerical superiority, it's a technological gap so wide that enemy aircraft become obsolete before engaging American forces. The economic reality also heavily favors America. While the F-47 will cost significantly more than current fighters, estimates suggest around $300 million per aircraft. That investment ensures no enemy pilot ever faces favorable odds. Compare that to the alternative: allowing adversaries to achieve technological parity would cost far more in both money and American lives. President Trump's assessment rings absolutely true. We know every other plane. I've seen every one of them. And it's not even close. This is the next level. That's not political rhetoric. That's strategic reality backed by the world's most advanced aerospace industry and unlimited determination to maintain superiority. The message to potential adversaries couldn't be clearer. Challenging American air power means facing technology so advanced that resistance becomes pointless. The F-47 ensures American pilots never fight fair fights. They always possess overwhelming advantages in range, stealth, sensors, weapons, and support systems. Here's something that should make every American feel confident about our nation's future. While everyone debates whether the F-47 will work, Boeing is already preparing to build them in massive numbers. First production aircraft will roll off assembly lines in 2029, during President Trump's current term. That aggressive timeline reflects years of preparation, testing, and refinement that most people never heard about. Those prototype flights since 2019 weren't publicity stunts. They were serious engineering validation of technologies that will keep America safe for decades. The St. Louis production facility represents more than just manufacturing capability. It ensures American workers build American aircraft with American technology. No foreign components in critical systems, no compromised supply chains, no dependence on adversaries for materials that could threaten national security. Critics who worry about cost overruns completely miss the bigger picture. Yes, advanced military technology requires serious investment, but consider the alternative. Allowing China or Russia to achieve air superiority would threaten everything Americans value. The F-47 program ensures that never happens while supporting thousands of high-paying manufacturing jobs across multiple states. The ripple effects extend far beyond military applications. Technologies developed for the F-47 will eventually improve commercial aviation, space exploration, and countless civilian industries. American innovation doesn't just protect our nation, it drives economic growth and technological advancement that benefits everyone. By 2030, America will operate the world's most advanced fighter aircraft, supported by revolutionary autonomous drones and backed by industrial capacity that no other nation can match. That's not just military superiority, that's the foundation of continued American leadership in the 21st century. The F-22 Raptor served America magnificently for 2 decades, striking fear into enemy hearts while never losing a single engagement. Now it's time to pass the torch to an even more formidable successor that will dominate skies for the next 30 years. The F-47 represents everything that makes American military power unstoppable: innovation, determination, and the absolute refusal to accept second place. While our enemies struggle with yesterday's technology, America has already moved to tomorrow's solutions. If you're proud of American military excellence and want to stay updated on the technologies keeping our nation safe, hit that like button and subscribe for more coverage of why America always stays ahead of the competition.